what are your words for someone who is scared that if they show up as who they truly are, they will lose love? They won't be accepted. They'll no longer belong. They'll be judged. And I know, you know, all the data and all the studies show that if we are not fully authentically ourselves, we cannot have a true connection with another human being. And it's so easy to believe the lie that I want connection, so I'm going to be the person I think I need to be. But then we are lonelier and more disconnected than ever. So for the person who needs maybe words of wisdom or inspiration or advice or tips on how do you, because you've done it, you do it every single day, right?
For sure.
They see Trent Shelton on a pedestal. People put Trent Shelton on a pedestal. Oh, he's crushed it in every area of his life. And you're saying, oh, this is who I am. I'm in the valley. I'm going through these hard times. I'm, dealing with depression. I'm all the different things. Like, you have been so brave, right, to be who you are. And you're
Yeah.
saying that is why so many people connect with you, right? And I think about, I think about all the people I think who are the most impactful in the world, and I think that they do that in various ways. But how do you get the courage to do that? For the person listening right now who's saying, Trent, if they really knew who I was, if they really knew all the things I'm going through, maybe they wouldn't hold me in such esteem anymore. Maybe I wouldn't be invited anymore. Maybe I wouldn't be included anymore.
First thing I want to say is that's not your people then.
Mm.
You will always be not enough for the wrong people or person. Always. And I know sometimes that's hard because we want to fit in, we want to blend in, but you got to accept that certain doors have to close. And when you're your authentic self, some doors will close. Friends, family, peers, it closes. And you can't, I know it hurts, but you got to realize there's better doors for your life. And I know that's easier said than done. I get it because I was there and I still go there at times. But I trust to say, okay, if a no changes the relationship, then that relationship isn't for me. If me being my authentic self changes the relationship, then that relationship isn't for me. And yes, it still hurts. Yes, I want these people in my life. Yes, I want to be enough. But I learned this a long time ago, Jamie. There's no amount of perfection you can give to a person that's committed to misunderstanding you. You'll never be perfect for the wrong people. Even your perfection will be not enough. So at some point, they're going to find the real you. And so my biggest fear is people fall in love with this version of Trent Shelton that's not authentic. They love me for something that I'm truly not. I don't want to do that because at some point, the real me is going to show up. The messy me, the mistake me, the failure me is going to show up and be like, wait a minute, who's this guy? And so if you can't love me at my worst, doesn't mean that you allow me to live a life that I shouldn't be living, right? But if you can't love me at my worst, then I don't want you loving me at my best. Because the truth is, every human being, and I wanted to say this earlier about going to church and being judged, never let the imperfections of man or woman keep you from the perfection of God. Never let the imperfections of man or woman, this world, etc., keep you from the perfection of God. And that has helped me so much in my life because when I'm getting judged, I'm like, oh, that's an imperfect person judging me. I feel sorry for them that they're projecting their flaws and insecurities on me. And so again, if I'm not enough for you, great. Thank you. Release me. Let me go on to something else. And when we're tethered and connected to something, I talk about this in the book, you got to disconnect often. The things that you're connected to are powering you. So some of us, we're connected to stress. We're connected to all these things and we're connected to, our insecurities. And I say, cut the connection, pull the plug, disconnect from those things. And it's hard to go pull the plug when you realize that, man, once I pull the plug, I'm freeing myself. And there's nothing better in this world, Jamie, than being able to be you and being accepted for you. So I know doors have closed because I'm not a version of professional that maybe the world doesn't want, but I'm okay with that. I know what God has called me to do, what he wants me to do, and I'm at peace with that. I can sleep at night. I'm okay. I can lay my head down and say, you know what? I am the best version of myself. I might not be them, they, him, or her, but I'm me. And I'm okay with that. And so I think it takes time to be able to build that confidence. But once you free yourself from those things and you experience the freedom of fully being yourself and people fully loving you for yourself, you'll never go back to being something that you're not to please them. So that's what I would say.
One thing I just thought of that you say that I love so much, and I just have to bring it up because I'm thinking of the one person listening who is just struggling with the haters they see online or the comments that they get, or they finally decided to post their art or their ideas or any part of themselves out there. And then someone from 25 years ago in high school made some rude comment on their Facebook or their
Right.
Instagram. And you once said, Trent Shelton, and I will never forget this. I think about this all the time. You said, haters are just confused supporters. Haters are just confused supporters.
For
Can you
sure.
explain that? So good. So good.
Yeah. So number one, like, if you don't want to be hated on, you know, and there's a beautiful quote, I'm butchering it, but, you know, say nothing, be nothing, do nothing. If you don't want any type of judgment or anything. So at least I look at somebody hating on you as you're getting attention. And you have to understand this. Like, some people aren't haters, they're confused supporters. And what I mean by this, when you look at the word hate, it's such a strong word, but you don't pay attention to things that you hate. Certain foods like ranch dressing, I don't pay attention to ranch because I hate it. When I'm in the salad bar line, I don't even look at the ranch, right? Because I hate it. You don't pay attention to things that you hate. So if somebody is following your page, if somebody knows your every move, if somebody is making up a fake profile, right, after you block one profile, that is not hate. That's admiration. They just have pride and ego. So it might be a little bit of jealousy and envy there, but actually they really support you. And in these days, I would just tell you this. If somebody's hating on you, let it be. Maybe you restrict them on Instagram, but they're adding to your engagement. They're actually helping you. So the more you get out of, oh, this is about me, and stop taking it personal, it's a them thing. I've never met a happy hater. Have you? I've never met somebody who is happy with their life and loving their life, worried about somebody else and what they're doing. So just understand they're paying you attention. At least you're doing something that's worth attention. So keep doing it.
You talk a lot about being able to identify when you have people that are not right in your life or that are bringing toxicity around you. Can you talk about that? Because a lot of people, feel like, oh, I don't know if these friends are really for me, but I'm going to go to the thing anyway. Or if I'm in the right relationship or in the right friendship, talk about, especially when it comes to protecting your peace. What do you do if you don't want to be alone and you don't know how to make new friends as an adult? And you don't want to be all alone, but then you feel like sometimes the people around you bring this sort of like toxicity.
I definitely can identify with my introverted self. So it's hard because I'm not the guy that's gonna, I'm not the guy that's gonna start conversation. Like I'm laid back, I'm chilled. So I understand how somebody can feel like, man, if I lose these friends that I know aren't my friends, then I'm not gonna have anybody in my life. And I just gotta be real. Sometimes the road is lonely. Sometimes I don't even like to say isolation, but solitude is necessary. Sometimes you have to learn how to be by yourself so God can show you what being perfectly loved feels like. I've learned how to love myself at my rock bottom. When all my friends left, not all of them, because some might be listening, a few was there, but I learned how to love myself. When I lost my career, when I lost the beautiful things that surrounded my life, I lost a lot of people that I did things for. And so the thing that I would tell the person listening to this or watching this is, with the people around you, number one, would you trade places with them? Not just financially, but like mindset wise. Mindsets are contagious. So if I don't want to trade a mindset with you, I don't want to trade a life with you, not talking about the things, but who you are at your core character. If I don't want to trade that with you, why are you around? And everybody around you isn't bad, but everybody around you isn't good for your journey. And so you have to be able to, I'm going to say, cut people off when they handed you the scissors. So when somebody keeps on disrespecting you, you set boundaries and they disrespect your boundaries over and over and over. They've handed you the scissors. So you might have to cut the relationship off, or don't complain about the things you aren't willing to change. And so for me in my life, I had to go up a mountain. I was just in, where's that place? I wasn't skiing because I can't ski. Flagstaff. I was in Arizona at what is called Snow Bowl. And we were driving up the mountain. At the base of the mountain, it was no snow. So I'm driving like, how are people skiing? But as we got higher, it got colder. Snow was there. It got less crowded. And it reminded me of hiking mountains. Everybody at the base of the mountain is crowded. But the higher you go, the lonelier it gets. The higher you go, the colder it gets. And so for some of you, it's getting colder in your life because you're going higher. For some of you, it's getting a little bit lonely in your life because people who started with you aren't going to have the perseverance, the grind, the work ethic, the faith to finish with you. And the journey will always reveal what's real and who's real in your life. And so it doesn't make them bad, but everybody isn't meant to go with you. And that breaks my heart because it's people I cared about. It's people I've tried to help. You have to learn how to let people go because I've tried to help people so much. And my dad told me this. He said, Trent, people will bring you down faster than you can bring them up. I know you want to, yeah. I know you want to save people, but that's not your job, bro. Stop playing God. You're not there to save people. Because I don't know if you ever, I'm almost drowned before in real life. And what happens if you try to save a person drowning, they're so frantic, they will pull you under and both people will drown. And so you have to trust that some people have to learn how to save themselves. I'm all for throwing out the buoy. I'm all for throwing out the life jacket. But at some point, you have to learn how to do for yourself because I refuse to lose myself trying to change people. And some of us, we can't keep peace in our life because we spend our whole entire life trying to change people. And people aren't going to change until they're ready to change. So for me, my whole thing is, here you go, God. It's yours. Here you go. This person that I believe so much in, that I'm giving all the advice, and I know you can relate all the advice and they're not taking it. Here you go, God. This person that I want to help and they don't want to be helped. Here you go, God. And I hand them over to God and it gives more peace in my soul. So that has helped me tremendously in this journey because I care so much about people and I don't want to feel guilty for not doing the things that they aren't appreciating no more.
Isn't that so true that you just cannot change someone who does not want to change?
For sure. Change is an inside job.
Right. And on our growth journey, we're all on different journeys in our life, but I just see this over and over and over again. I have a little sister who is a half-step sister. And then we found out I'm adopted. Long story. Gotcha. But she is my sister.
For sure.
She is my sister. And she's on this whole new journey in her life. And you know, it can be hard when she's like, why don't, you know, she wants everyone else to hop on this journey with her and understand or go to therapy too, or, you know, all of these things. And it's like, it's so hard when we want people to come along that ride with us and to think that somehow they should, and to learn that lesson that you can't change anyone. They have to want to change. And that's a beautiful, that is a beautiful perspective. Like you do what you can and then you say, here, God.
Absolutely.
So that you're free.
And on that journey, just to add this, as you're climbing that mountain or going on that journey, you will meet like mindsets. They might not look like how you think them. Look, I have friends in my life that some are our friends and peers. I'm like, hey, how did this connection even happen? Like we're totally different lifestyles, but you realize like mindsets will always find. So as you go on your journey, it might be a little bit lonely at first, but I promise you, as you keep moving forward, you'll find your people. But you just got to stay true to the path.
I love what you said. They will hand you the scissors.
Yeah.
They will hand you their scissors. And a lot of times I have to tell you, I've had people hand me the scissors many times and I'm still like, oh, no, I don't want to abandon you. And I don't cut.
That's right.
I don't cut. And it has been a journey of learning like, oh, no, I'm actually worthy of, you know, people who love me how I love them, or show up for me the way I show up for them, or you know what I mean? Just, yeah.
Do you feel that started a war within yourself?
I think it affected every part of my life. I mean, when I was, running at cosmetics with over 1,000 employees, while I have a million weaknesses, one of them, and some strengths,
For sure.
one of those weaknesses was I would not fire people soon enough, even when I knew, like even when they deserved it. And I would meet other CEOs who would say to me, like, the second someone is like bringing the toxic energy to the environment, or of course doing something really, really wrong, but the second they're even bringing that bad energy, like, it's contagious. It will take a culture down. It will infect everyone else. And I knew that. And still, because of my own issues I didn't understand fully yet, of not believing I was worthy of things, I didn't want to abandon anyone else. And so I would hang on to people for way too long. And it was wild. It says, you said it, inside job. It was me learning to believe what I'm worthy of, and that, I can't change a person. And that was when I got better at firing.
I'm 100% with you with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it starts, there's a beautiful quote, and it's a rapper named Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's his quote, but he said, I talk about this in the book. He said, would you rather be at peace with yourself and at war with the world? Or would you rather be at war with yourself and at peace with the world? And every time you're choosing them over you by not cutting things off or firing somebody that you know needs to be fired, you start a war within yourself. Every time you say yes when you want to say no, and you need to say no, you're starting a war within yourself. So I got tired of starting wars within myself. And one of my hardest things was speaking my piece. And my dad said, Trent, if you don't speak your piece, how can you protect your peace? And I said, wow, you're right. And so I've chose to be at peace with myself. And no matter what comes with that, sometimes it comes with, worry and guilt, because not to kind of fast forward, but the main principle in the book, or number one, is set boundaries. And a lot of us don't set boundaries because of two reasons. We worry, or we have guilt. We worry what people are going to say. We worry about the rebuttal, or we have guilt that, I'm leaving this person behind, or I should always be there for them. So we don't set boundaries. But I like to always say, and this changed my life when it came to protecting my peace, is boundaries aren't walls. Boundaries are bridges. Most people think boundaries are this wall that keeps things out. No, boundaries are there to let the right things in. And so, yes, I've had to set boundaries. They only become walls when somebody disrespects it over and over and over again. Then that boundary becomes a wall. I can't allow you access in my life, or I can't be around this environment because it's toxic. So I would ask the person that's listening to this, is like, if you want peace in your life, or what you need in your life, what boundary do you need to set? What bridge do you need to set that's going to lead you to what you need? And so that's helped me so much by saying, one of my main principles is I am going to keep peace in my life, and I'm not going to start a war within myself. And I'm not going to worry about who feels a certain way. I'm not going to worry about the private conversations and now become public information, and the talks behind the backs, and, Trent's like this. And I'm not worried about that no more, because I'm choosing to keep my peace, because a life without peace is nothing. And so, yeah, I wanted to share that, because I know a lot of people are starting wars within themselves. They're carrying these internal battles and wars, and they're driving themselves crazy, stressed out, burnt out, depression, because they won't say their piece, or they won't set that boundary. You will always be not enough for the wrong people or person. We build relationships these days, I feel like, off of the weakest things. And no wonder when we go through trials and tribulations, things crumble. If you don't demand your worth, the world will tell you what your worth is. The last time I checked, that's not a good price tag. And they usually put you on wholesale.